Haven't seen this one before, have we? Advance. Saw this 15 times this year. First of all, I know it's silly, but you have this Brooklyn blackout, and you win by 100 in game one wearing black, and you go back to white. I mean, I don't know. I'm superstitious. I'm a baseball guy. We're superstitious. What are you wearing white for? White is a reminder of how brutally soft this team is in their own building. And of course, the uniform is, I'm being silly, but seriously, when I saw the white jerseys, I'm like, what the freak are they doing? I mean, this is a weak team in their own building. They've been a weak team the entire season in their own building. You could see it. At 6-2, I was uptight. We were down by 1 at the half, and I still had an uncomfortable feeling. It felt like we should have been down by 10. And then, of course, the third quarter starts, and, every ball played well. Talk about how you need 15 guys. 15, listen to me. I'm freaking pissed. You need 5 guys usually to play well to win a game. Well, the Bulls had Boozer played well, Dang played well, Noah, talk about him, of course, Heinrich, that's 4. I thought Muhammad gave them huge minutes, 5. And Robinson, of course, didn't shoot the ball well, but made the biggest shot of the game. Two things to me that stand out in this game. First of all, I thought PJ did an awful job in the third quarter, sticking with a squad that scored 11 points in the third quarter. I thought he did a terrible job not subbing early to change the chemistry of the floor in the third quarter. I thought he was terrible. And of course, my buddy D. Will, who's made me look like an idiot for most of the second half, was 1 for 9. You can't go 1 for 9 in a playoff game. Joe Johnson, who made a couple of big shots late, but was basically brutal. At one point, had missed 6 straight shots. Lopez took 5 shots in the second half. 5. Guy had 14 points. Again, I got to put that on PJ. How does he get 5 shots in the second half? Gerald Wallace was brutal again. He was back to his old way, turned the ball over instantly, fumbled the ball out of his hands. And although he did have a quick steal to start the game, he was 1 for 7 from the floor. Evans didn't seem to put his stamp on the game. I thought Humphries gave them some minutes. I think the Jerry Stackhouse thing finally has to come to a close. He was 1 for 4. He threw up another air ball. It's 4 air balls in the series. Humphries, I thought, gave us some good minutes. Thought he missed a big shot down the end. But, the biggest play of the game, I watched the replay like 8 times. I rewound it. 7-point game. Boozer misses the jumper. And Humphries gets muscled out of the way by a guy on 1 foot, Noah. He grabs the rebound. He's losing the ball out of bounds. He flicks it into Heinrich. Heinrich kicks it to that jerk-off Nate Robinson, who hits the 3 to put them up 10. Now, the Nets did come back and cut it to 4. But to me, that was the play of the game. If you look at what Noah did down the stretch, that play, he blocked Lopez's shot. And it ended up staying in bounds after he went out of bounds off C.J. Watson. And he also, from the foul line, on 1 foot, went to the rack with Lopez on him and banked a layup in down the stretch. Just Joakim Noah has got a set of balls. He's got a set of balls. There is nobody on the Nets that has the guillons that Noah has, playing with plantar fasciitis. Outworking Brook Lopez. Not hard to do when it comes to rebounding. He had 5 rebounds. Did have 3 blocks, so we can't kill him, and he had 21 points. But he was a -4 while he was on the floor. It's an interesting statistic. The Nets were 4 for 21 from three-point range. Our buddy D. Will was 0 for 5. Johnson was 3 for 7. Stackhouse was 0 for 3. Watson only made 1 3. It was a big one that at least you thought to cut the lead at halftime. But listen, this is, again, talked about in the last show. Some of my buddies who were counting on a sweep based on the first game, and I know I'm usually a pessimistic dude, but I like to also think I'm more realistic. Like, who are we? Who are the Nets to proclaim they got anything? I mean, they're this is who they are. They've lost 15 games in their building, and most of them, 11 of them, as I've noted many times, were just like the one tonight. Close game, back and forth, punched in the mouth, wither. That's what they did. To me, this is a must game. To me, it's a must game to win. In the playoffs, when you win your first game at home, it doesn't mean jack shit. In fact, if you lose game 2, it basically is. You'd rather lose game 1, win game 2. At least you have some good feeling going on the road. So if you're going to split, you want to lose. You want to lose the first game, win the second. So the worst case scenario, of course, is going down 0-2. But from a perspective other than that, the worst case is what happened. You show the world how great you are in game 1, and then you get your fucking asses handed to you like the bunch of wuss bags that you are in your own building in game 2, and you go to Chicago tucking your tail between your legs, scoring 80 points, a couple days after you scored 106. This is who the Nets are. Didn't see this Darren Williams in a long time, so obviously it's we got to give him a break. Hopefully he bounces back. The Nets are a better road team. They've played well one time in Chicago, should have won the game, but didn't close it. Second time played well for a half and then got blown out of the water. I worry about P.J. Carlesimo in a big spot. Didn't really have to do a lot of coaching in that first game. But today I thought he was out. Listen, Tom Thibodeau, P.J. Carlesimo, you tell me who you want. Look at the adjustments Chicago made. I probably would be a little more animated. I'm in my living room. Don't want to wake the kids up, and I've already punched many things. I think my son shit in his pants in the back seat on the ride home when I punched the friggin' chair when Robinson hit the 3. Didn't see it. I heard it on the radio. What I said, I predicted that this will go 7. I still believe that. I wouldn't be shocked if the Nets won one of these games in Chicago. More likely, they won't. Can't figure them out, so don't try to. Because you saw, basically tonight, what you saw most of the season. So if you're thinking game 1 is who the Nets are, I don't know, man. I would tend to disagree with you and say tonight is what I've seen most often. The team shot 35%, 19% from 3. 4 for 21 from 3. Didn't turn the ball over a lot, believe it or not. Normally that's their big bugaboo. They only had 12 turnovers. So it's not bad. But they got out-hustled. They got out-balled, out-onioned, as Bill Raftery would like to say, by the Chicago Bulls. Joakim Noah, who had 11 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. He was the difference down the stretch. He wanted it, and the other Nets didn't. So we'll see what happens Thursday. I expect it to be a close game. The Nets play well on the road. Interesting to see if when they do return home, if they'll have their black jerseys. Small recommendation for Brett Yorkham, or whoever the hell you are, wherever the Nets organization is. Stick with the black, please. Get the white jerseys and never wear them again. little white, puffy, they remind me of little white cupcakes. Little fairy asses. Got smacked in the mouth by a tough team and folded in their own building. And it's 1-1. So everybody that thought there was a sweep coming and we could beat Miami, wake up. Wake up. This is who we are. Leave me alone.